In the last video, we talked about broad strategy for film festivals as a career tool for filmmakers, so how festivals work and how you can create a framework within them to build your career. If you followed the same logic as the video, it should have been possible to create a rough plan for what festivals you should be aiming for based on your level and goals. But if you've ever submitted a film, you'll know it's more complicated than that. You need to dive into the pedantic minutiae of submitting to film festivals. So let's get into some concrete, practical details.
Just pull up your sleeves and get them in place.
So you have your film and you have a list of festivals you'd like to submit to.
Nice.
But do you have your materials ready? Do you have your director's bio, a DCP, an EPK? Do you know the festival requirements and guidelines?
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
So today we're going through essential things to sort out before you submit to film festivals. So we're covering exactly what you need to keep in mind and the deliverables you should prepare for your submissions.
Ready? Yeah, as ready as I'm gonna be. Whenever you want, go ahead.
Now hold on a second. Before spending 1 cent on submissions, realistically evaluate your situation and clearly define your goals. This largely depends on the kind of film you're submitting and the intentions you have with the film. Take a brutally honest look at your film and then look at the films that have played in the festivals you want to submit to. Are they on the same level in terms of artistry and production value? Really examine it. Try to find someone else to help evaluate if you're not sure. Ideally someone who knows how film festivals work. Remember, film festival programmers have to watch hundreds of films, so if your film is not up to par, they'll skip right past it.
That's how life is.
Don't give them a reason to drop you. You can save yourself a lot of money and frustration by being realistic here.
What else you got?
Clearly define your goals. Do you want to sell your film, which is close to impossible if it's a short, but whatever? Do you want to meet future collaborators? Do you want to see how an audience reacts to your film? These kinds of questions will quickly narrow down which festivals or markets are relevant for you. I know you want everything, but it's good to prioritize and focus where possible. In my case, I want to direct my debut feature film, so I'm looking for an experienced producer or financier that sees potential in me. So my priority is decent mid-tier festivals that ideally have some kind of networking opportunities integrated into the festival. Having this film screened is cool and awards if they come always help, but my priority is to make more films in the most direct way possible. If you don't prioritize, you'll end up going to the festival, getting caught up in the whirlwind and excitement, and then you have a great time, but nothing comes of it. If you're trying to build a career, a film festival is not a holiday, it's an opportunity. So make sure you know your goals in order to take full advantage of that opportunity. So research the festivals you're submitting to. A good place to start is Fest Agent to get an overview of the festival, and then you can check other resources for reviews and photos. Get an idea of the size of the audiences, the kinds of people that are attending, the kinds of events they have. Is it more artsy or more industry, or a mixture of both? Another thing to keep in mind before you submit is physical attendance. You need to be there to get the most out of it. Be there for your screening. Be there for the industry events. Be there for anything that can contribute to your goals. What does that mean for your submission strategy? If you want to do it this way, you should only apply to festivals you can afford to attend. That means you need to keep travel expenses, accommodation, and per diem in mind for your budget. Know somewhere you can crash in London? Great. Then you just need to cover the travel costs and daily expenses. Start thinking this through and see what's possible. You need to assess where festival attendance can fit in your schedule and whether attendance will contribute to your goals more than what you're currently doing. You have to be willing to take a hit in the short term if it means progressing in your long-term goals.
No risk, no reward.
If you're in a pinch, focus on the biggest festivals that are near you or consider applying for funding. Some regions have specific public funding for filmmakers to attend festivals that their films are playing in. Take a look to see if your region offers this. Regardless of where you submit your film, there are some fundamental things you need and some things that just make a good impression. So you need the basic information about the film, the credits, with an emphasis on the lead creatives and production. They usually want bios and contact details of either the direct contact or agent of the director, producer, production company, distribution contact, etc. They also want the technical project specifications, so the film format or container you can deliver in. Can you provide a DCP or digital cinema package? This is important if it's going to be projected in a cinema. Do you have the film available as a ProRes file or maybe a H.265 in case they want to make the film available online? This would of course be on a closed platform, but some festivals will do this so that distributors or producers can also check the film out when it's not playing as part of the festival. They also want some basic stuff like the runtime, aspect ratio, audio, so is it stereo, LCR, 5.1 surround sound? All of that stuff needs to be available for them to see. Then they also want production details, so things like the dates of completion and production, the country of production, co-production countries, etc. And then they also want what I would call the soft project details. So here you want the log line, synopses at different lengths, film stills, BTS photos, a trailer, directors or writers' notes, essentially things that the festivals can use for their websites or social posts to add context to your film. This stuff you would need to prepare anyway for journalists, so it's kind of a two-in-one. Speaking of journalists, you might want to consider preparing an EPK or electronic press kit. This is used in a lot of other industries as well, like the music industry, and it's basically just a kind of digital booklet, usually a PDF, that summarizes the key information we've been talking about up to now in kind of a more visually appealing way, so that you can send it to festivals, journalists, etc., and they can use it to create related materials like articles, or to prepare for interviews with you, or just to get a sense of the project. It's also something you can use to send to producers or distributors, and I would really recommend preparing one, and it's worth doing it right, like in the style of the film and intentionally laid out and designed. It makes a good impression, it centralizes all of your key information, and it makes this otherwise dry information kind of more pleasant to go through. It might also be worth printing some physical copies as booklets for when you attend the actual festivals, but I'll save that for a video on tips for attending film festivals. So in this video we covered your film festival goals and deliverables that you should sort out before you submit your film, and in the next video we'll cover how to navigate the actual submission process and festival requirements. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.